Hello. It's Faith Murithi here. I'm back again in this sixth month. I hope you've been good. I've been really good. God has been my help. And it's been a while since I've been here, right? Poleni, I'm so sorry kuwaweka. It's been a whole month, but life has been moving very fast. I don't know who else is noticing things are happening very fast. There's just something. Things are really happening very fast. So today I am so excited and I'm so delighted to be here. Karibuni everyone, welcome. All the new subscribers, you're most welcome. This is a Nuggets of Faith family, and I am the host, Faith Mureithi. So today, being a girl who has been helped by God, and I usually say this, God is my help. It is God who has helped me till this place that I'm in, and where I'm going, it's still going to be God. So today I'm going to share something that was dropping in my spirit from I guess last week. I was just somewhere, I traveled. So when I was just meditating and I was just alone, I kept feeling in my spirit the conviction to share about helpers. And as I was feeling that conviction, I felt like God was drawing out lessons that I have gotten in my life and people I have met who are helpers, people who I was a helper in their lives, and the lessons that I got. Some in my maturity, others God just helped me to understand in His mercy, of course. So I'll just try and share with you the date. I put this down. Yeah, it's a second of this month. That's when 2nd of June 2022. That's when I was writing about helpers. So being that I felt this is a word in season and perhaps someone needs to hear this on this platform, I kept on hearing it also. Even on Sunday when our spiritual dad was preaching, Apostle Kimani, I had him praying about helpers, and I was like, hey, God is just confirming it in my spirit that this is actually something I should share. And you know, when you go through things in life, it's just not for us to keep them to ourselves and feel nice about them. Oh, I went through this, I was helped by God. You know, there are things that happen profoundly so that other people can also learn about the statutes of God. So, my greatest tag, of course, I love testimonies. So even as I talk about helpers, I'll bring out a testimony also about my life. So what I can say, there's a way God brings helpers our way, which can be very disguised. I've been in situations where God, you know, there are times that life beats you down. There's a time I didn't look like this. There's a time I was not a mother. There's a time I was not a wife. There's a time I was a young girl. I was still trying to find my way in life. And so many things had not made sense. And I didn't look the part, you know. And what I noticed, there are people who only listen to you as a helper if you look important or if you seem important. But if you look like you're walking, you don't have a car, your clothes don't look new, they just onakatia kesi, like this one has nothing to offer. That's a tough lesson I learned when I was in a very, you know, like a desert kind of a season of my life. There's a time where God would lead me to somebody and He would want me to help them in one way, but when I go to them, they just look at me first glance, oh, ajasoma, oh, she doesn't go to school, what does she have to offer, and they brush me off. So there are people who come to believe that you have something substantial in you when they actually see you starting to look important. Well, there's a big danger in that. Because even when I read my Bible, and I was putting down some small notes at that time, and one of the things I was writing was about destiny connectors. There are people who don't have the monetary strength, or they don't even look like they have the physical strength to help you, and you can easily brush them off, but they have God's treasures. A friend of mine told me, you sometimes in life, what you need besides being a high profile person, you need a high spiritual frequency. Otherwise you will be meeting people, they are your helpers, you disregard them, you talk to them badly until the time maybe they start looking important. That's when you're like, oh my God, I probably missed something. Especially if you call yourself a Christian, it's always good to ask God, please give me the humility to even accept help from people who I think don't look like the part. Because when I read about Naaman's story in the book of 2 Kings chapter 5, I see that he was a great man. He had all the wealth, but he had leprosy. And being such a great person, achieving so much, but being sick, I mean, he needed help, God's intervention. And here, in fact, the Bible calls this young girl, it describes her as a little maid. There's a part, the Bible describes the girl as a little maid, but she was a conduit for Naaman's deliverance. And I really thank God for Naaman's wife, because if she was proud and this girl had tried to tell her, like, Mom, I know somebody who can help the master, and the wife was actually humble enough to take it and to actually deliver the message to Naaman. And Naaman, despite the pride of, expected the man of God to come and meet me, he got healed at the end of the day. But where did the deliverance come from? It came from a small little girl, probably battling with doubt, insecurities, because she was taken as a slave. You can imagine the space in which she's in. And also, you see that God enabled her to enter the house of Naaman as a helper. And thank God they received the help through discernment. The wife was able to, to just accept that, what, we actually need help. Because some people, I have seen them, they're like, heri nikufe, lakini sina nia nisaidie. And you're like, that is pride. And so many people have missed their help because of that. Other people would have brushed this girl off like, nonsense, what are you talking about? My husband is a king. We are here, you are there, So it really takes the hand of God. And when I speak about that, I'll just bring my testimony real quick before I continue with other points. It's important. My first point is that it's, besides praying for helpers to come, it's important to pray for yourself, to discern, this is my helper. It's important to pray for your heart also, that when the time comes, God give me a discerning heart that will accept my helpers and will recognize my helpers. So I remember I started going to Ngong for prayers from 2013. So I would go there sometimes, and around 2014, I can't remember if it's 14 or 15. So there's this time, there were some two ladies who were my friends at that time. They had gone to fast for 40 days. They are sisters, sorry. So they had gone to stay there for 40 days and nights. So there was another person with them, and it was a man from Uganda. So let me tell you guys, if I was to go with the outlook, I would never have gotten my biggest blessings. Because when this man of God came to speak to me, I pray that one day God will give him the opportunity to come on this platform. He had one pair of pants, one sweater, and gumboots. Like, it was just the same. And he used to sleep kwa makaratasi. He had just put stones around where he was sleeping. People perhaps who frequent Ngong had ever seen him. So I remember that time he came, he said hi to me, and I looked at him and I'm like, what? Okay. But in my spirit, I felt this is a servant of God. And I listened to him. and we talked and we talked. This was 2015. There, I was, yes. So when I went home later on after prayers and I was sharing with my mom, then at night as I meditated, I felt God putting in my heart to bless this person in a certain way. And so I looked for his number and I did the necessary. So I remember fast forward 2017, all those who have not watched my video, how God led me to Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain, you should probably head there and watch. So because he comes in here also, he's a person that God used to confirm to me that, you know what, Apostle is your spiritual father. So I remember after God now spoke to me about Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain and I went there, so I remember calling him and telling him about that revelation that I had gotten. And when he asked me, how did you know? I told him in that manner, you can go watch that video. So he actually had the inner witness and he told me, you know what, Sister Faith, God had spoken to me about this and you're on the right track. So I remember right after my wedding with my husband, Mr. Mureithi, Kent, hi. There's something God had instructed us to do, and we were like, "What? How will we reach Apostle John Kimani William? Because we understand the kind of work that God has given him, and we respect that." So when I talked to this man of God about it, and I told him, I feel God he has impressed in our hearts to do this. He told me I can be able to take you to him. Guys, that is how the first time we got to physically meet with our spiritual father, Apostle John Kimani William, and we sat with him and he prayed for us and we talked. This was right after our honeymoon with my husband. And so when I was sitting and meditating about this message, I was like, God, even my husband has ever asked me one day, now if you had ignored that man of God because of how he was looking at that time, because honestly, he did not seem like he would even have Apostle's number, or he knows, or he can be a conduit to such a big blessing. And from there, really, we have seen the hand of God, and it taught me a very huge lesson. Guys, helpers come in so many forms, but sometimes it is our pride that makes us not to be helped. We feel that, oh, I have conquered so much, I don't need help. Even the richest person in the world, even the person who has the most, they still need help. Who doesn't need someone to bless them once in a while? We all need someone to bless us once in a while. So that is how we got to meet our spiritual dad for the first time, and it was such a humbling process for me, and God was just teaching me, as a believer or a person in life, you should always ask God, help me to receive my helpers with your wisdom, with your discernment. Let me not just talk to people or regard people or treat people like human beings, only those people who look the part. Because the people, if you don't look important, if you don't look like you have some money, or if you don't look like you're well connected, why are we sitting on the same table? To some people, it's like that. But really, really, and I have experienced that, sadly, even in the body of Christ with some people, when I did not look the part in some things, some people just crushed me and pinned me down. Then perhaps they get a revelation, oh, Faith was my helper in this place. Or then that time is too late, the season is over. And there are times also myself, I blame myself not praying for my helpers in some situations, because God would show me this is your helper. And it's not enough just to pray for people to come and help you. And usually it's good to pray for helpers. God, release my helpers, send them from the north, from the east, from the west, from the south, but how they come, because I have experienced this thing, perhaps I would have a dream and God would show me, this is a person that will be your midwife for this season. They are to help you from point A to point B. Then actually it happens. We so happen to meet we are there. But you see, this person understands what they should do in your life, but the devil corrupts their heart. They start being insecure and feeling like, oh my God, if I help this person, they'll be greater than me. There's that thing that I have seen. It's a lesson. It's something that you really have to pray for as you're praying for help. Asking God, as you bring my helpers, no matter how strong they are, give them a heart that is secure. Give them a heart that will celebrate me going to heights. Even if it is heights greater than them, they will not feel intimidated. And I usually celebrate the people who don't. They're so secure. Like, they know if God has told me to help this person, and I've come to understand that if I'm meant to help somebody, God is not a user. God knows why he has told me to help so and so, no matter where they get to. God, my prize is with God. So I should not measure and try to control my success in life by limiting other people. I can't help so and so because they can be greater than me, or they'll be greater than my children, so let me just keep them. There's a sermon that Apostle preached some Sunday, and it was about praying for your deliverers. Men, deliverers are usually attacked. You attack somebody, you refuse to help them, yet God perhaps has planned 15 years down the line, they will be the one to be a bridge for your children. And being a helper is not just in terms of money. There are so many ways you can be helped. It's not just money. Did Naaman need money? Naaman did not need money. He needed that connection to a great man of God who carried that spiritual resource to be able to bring healing to him. With all his wealth, with all his chariots, he could not buy his healing. So it is like that with life. Help is more than just, the strength you have in your pocket. Help comes in so many ways, and no man is an island. Trust me. You have been born, you came into this world, and God has already mapped out the people that he needs to connect you with to go to the next level. So we all need helpers. And also another thing, it is to pray. When I was reading about, I think it's in 2 Samuel chapter 9, about when David sent for Mephibosheth, and he asked, he asked who has remained in the house of Saul, that I may show him mercy, and Ziba was there. So you see, when Mephibosheth came, sometimes even when help is coming your way, don't act like you have such a low self-esteem. It's like you don't have a God. Even I've learned getting that wisdom of how to conduct yourself when you're receiving help is very important. Now, okay, Mephibosheth came, but to him, he saw himself as a dead dog. And he didn't have so much confidence even when God had brought help his way. And anyway, Ziba with his, is it 15 sons? I don't know. He was put in charge of Mephibosheth's estate as much as he was. Mephibosheth, of course, was the main beneficiary. But this person now became like the main overseer of what was happening with his property, Saul's property. So also we should pray for our attitude. And I know when you've gone through stuff in life and the devil has attacked your self-esteem so much, sometimes you feel like that. You feel like a dead dog. But always remind yourself that God loves you, God is mindful of you, and even when he brings help, he has used that person and he loves you. So don't usijieke chini sana, usijidharau, because I learned self-pity is a spirit and it's so bad. There's a time I struggled with self-pity a lot and it's so bad. And the people, when they see you have that thing, they will just mistreat you. Not everyone has the wisdom of God to understand that you've gone through stuff and you need healing. So just pray that God, even when help comes, help me to carry myself with wisdom and the poise that is meant for me to carry myself with. So I believe that's the second thing. I felt like God was ministering to me about praying for when it comes to helpers and being helped. The third thing I can say is praying for the understanding of knowing the divine boundaries with somebody. Yes, because there are people who come for the long haul, them that to go for the whole way, but there are others that come for a certain season. And once you have achieved certain things and they've helped you to a certain point, they really get uncomfortable around you. It's like, I had not planned for you to get to those boundaries. So it's also good to understand the wisdom of God, so that when you know we have reached these divine boundaries with this person, how to let go with ease. For others, it will be a fight because they really want to hold you down to the season where they feel like, oh, you know what? I'm meant to help you. You're not supposed to rise above this. You're supposed to sit here and be the needy one forever. But you should pray that, God, help me to understand my divine boundaries with my helpers. Help me to know how far is far with my helpers, and not to push even my helpers too much. Knowing that this person, my help with this person is up to here. For me, I'm meant to help this person up to here. What I have noticed, even the willingness to help, it just takes the heart of God. There are times that I have dreamt, God has shown me this is a person that will connect you to so and so. And I actually open up to the person and like, you know what, God revealed to me about this. And they jump. Monaruka, they're just like, what? No, I can't be the one to elevate you. And it really robs us of both of us of blessings. So it's very important to pray for the willingness, because I believe even when David, God had anointed him to be king, and he went into the house of Saul when he was playing the harp, and Saul was just overcome by evil spirits and he threw a spear at him. Sometimes when you just notice, this person is my mentor, I'm supposed to help, I'm supposed to respect them, they are my helpers or mentors, but it has reached a point they are drawing their spear now. They want to pin me to the wall. You need to have the wisdom on how to respectfully just let go. Yeah, so it's important to pray for divine boundaries. So that is the third thing that I feel I should share about helpers. So as God gives me more inspiration, if anytime he asks me to share this again, I will bring in more and more. But it is good at the end of the day to pray for helpers. At the end of the day, God is a helper of your helpers. If you pray for them, God is able to set things in order. Pray for a discerning heart. Pray that your helpers will be preserved, that your helpers will be strong, that your helpers will have the mind of God, the heart of God, that jealousy will not attack their hearts, because men, it's so bad when jealousy attacks your helpers. When someone begins to help you and then they actually see, unasaidika sana, you're going to be a very great person. Then they attack with jealousy and then they start fighting you. That is also a virus that occurs. I've experienced it, and it's something that, I felt. On my part, I did not pray. I prayed amiss perhaps. I just prayed for my helpers to come, but I didn't pray for their heart. I didn't pray for God to give them a heart of wisdom, patience, until we reach our divine boundaries of our relationship. So guys, that's just a very short testimony plus 3 points I wanted to share about helpers. May God bless you, and feel free to share, to subscribe, to like, to comment, and I'll see you again. I pray that God will be giving me more time to record. Thank you for everyone who has been patient with me. Yes, I currently have two small babies, and it's very hectic sometimes, but I thank God in everything. I thank God. God bless you all. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.